What's up guys, Justin here, and today I want to shoot a quick video. It's a little bit of a different format than what you're probably used to. I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here because I am just so tired of seeing all of these blog posts and videos talking about how hard it is to make it in the music industry and how the music industry is all messed up and how it's harder than ever for anybody to make it, and it's just such nonsense. It's actually ridiculous because it used to be almost impossible. Now it's easier than ever to make it in the music industry. And I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant here in just a second and explain why. All right, so let's talk about how the music industry used to be. It used to be, 20, 30 years ago that you were pretty much, if you're a musician, you're pretty much going to be broke forever. You had almost no chance in hell of ever having any success in the music industry, period. You had to be, in order to get any type of success and make any money, you actually had to have a record label. That was a total requirement. You had to have a record label or be independently wealthy. If you're already a millionaire and you want to be a musician, sure. But for most people, for most musicians, if you don't have any money, you need a record label. Why did you need a record label? Because you probably didn't have access to distribution and you didn't have enough money to actually create a record in the first place. If you were a musician before the internet, you had almost no control. You had very, very little control over whether or not you were actually going to be successful. Because if you wanted to have any success, you needed to be signed to a label. And if you wanted to get signed to a label, you needed to be really lucky because you needed to be the best of the best out there that had the sound that the label was actually looking for and they knew they could make money off of. So you had to be lucky enough to actually land a record deal in the first place. So why was it so necessary to have a record label? Well, recording an album was way too cost prohibitive. It was way too expensive. Back before recording software was so readily available, like nowadays, when you buy a computer, it probably comes with some kind of free recording and mixing software. 20 or 30 years ago, if you wanted to record an album, you had to rent studio time in a room with millions of dollars worth of equipment. And you had to hire somebody that specialized in using that equipment because most people didn't know how to do it. Most people didn't have access to millions of dollars worth of recording equipment. So you had to pay somebody a pretty penny to operate that for you. And you had to spend a lot of money to actually get in the studio and rent time with all this expensive equipment. It cost tens of thousands of dollars easily just to create an album, just to create the master. That doesn't even include actually creating CDs, cassettes, vinyl albums, any of the stuff that was needed to actually be able to sell and share your music. Just recording the master would cost tens of thousands of dollars. And then on top of that, this is before the internet, so you can't just upload a digital file to SoundCloud or Spotify. You had to actually press albums. You had to pay for it in bulk. So if you actually planned to sell a lot of them, you'd have to spend tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars to press all these albums. And then on top of that, you still have to get them distributed. Again, people can't listen to this stuff online, so they had to go into actual record stores and buy your albums. If you wanted to get nationwide or worldwide distribution, the only way to do that was through connections that a record label would have and the money that they had to be able to pay for all of the albums to be pressed up front and to get distributed all over the world and to get shelf space, to get your albums actually placed in stores. This cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's before you even got to the promotion, which again was very cost prohibitive. You didn't have things like Facebook ads and YouTube ads where you could get targeted placement for pennies. You had to spend lots and lots of money to do any type of advertising whatsoever. Creating and releasing and promoting an album would cost, at the bare minimum, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And on top of the financial requirements, you still needed a record label for their connections to help you get distribution and airplay on the radio so people would actually hear your music in the first place and know to go to the record store and buy the record. Nowadays, you have none of that, none of those obstacles. Literally anybody can be a professional musician. You probably have free recording software on your laptop right now that you can use to record an album. And then you can get it distributed for free using free distribution services and get it on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Deezer, all those places. There are free services that you can use to do that. So you don't even need a penny to create and distribute an album. That used to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And promoting your music barely costs anything either. I mean, there are free methods to use social media to get free music promotion. But even if you want to really promote your music and advertise it to the right people that are actually going to listen to it, become fans, and buy your music, It hardly costs anything. You can use Facebook ads and YouTube ads to get your music in front of people that are going to listen to it for pennies. You can do all this yourself. You don't need a label anymore. You don't need anyone. You can take complete control of your music career. That was never a possibility before. This is the first time in history that you could ever create, produce your own record and get it distributed all by yourself without anybody else's help, without any financial backing, and even promote it yourself without having to spend tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars on promotion. It is easier than ever to be a professional musician and make a significant living doing so. So anybody that tells you that the music industry is effed or wants to talk negative about how difficult it is to make it in the music industry, all right, whatever. Let them think that. The fact of the matter is it's easier than ever, and you can take complete control of your own destiny now. As a musician, you can create, produce everything yourself, promote it yourself. If you get a record label on board, great. That's awesome. Even better. But you don't need to rely on that anymore. Anyway, that's it for my rant. Just know it's easier than ever. You can take complete control of your destiny. If you want to learn more about how you can actually promote your music, I know that that's a big sticking point for a lot of people. You think, oh, it's easier said than done. That's why I put together a comprehensive course, Music Promotion Machine, that teaches you exactly how to do all this stuff yourself. I don't talk about actually recording and producing your music, but in terms of promoting your music, growing your fan base, getting more streams and sales, that's all stuff that's covered in the course. So go check that out at musicpromotionmachine.com. If you like my rant, then please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section below. If you want some free tips to help you make it as an independent artist, be sure to subscribe to this channel if you're not already, and click the little bell icon to be notified as soon as new videos are released. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.